What is Judaism? Judaism began nearly 4,000 years ago in a place called the Middle East. This is a large area of the border of Asia, Africa, and Europe. What do Jews believe in? Judaism believes Jewish people believe there's only one God who has established a covenant or a special agreement with them. Their God communicates to believers through prophets and rewards good deeds while also punishing evil. Most Jews, with the exception of a few groups, believe that their Messiah hasn't yet come but will one day. Jewish people worship in holy places known as the synagogues, and their spiritual leaders are called rabbis. The six pointed star of David is the symbol of Judaism. Today, there are about 14 million Jews worldwide. Most of them live in the United States and Israel. Traditionally, a person is considered Jewish if his or her mother is Jewish. Number 1. Abraham. Jews believe a man called Abraham was the first person to make a covenant with God. Abraham was a Hebrew. Jews believe God named Abraham's grandson Israel. After this, the Hebrews become known as the Israelites. Abraham is considered the father of the Jewish people, and the Israelites are his descendants. Number 2. Moses. Later, a man named Moses saved the Jewish people from persecution in Egypt when he led them to safety across the Red Sea. After this, the Jews live in the desert where God gave Moses a set of rules which they should live by, including the Ten Commandments. Moses is the most important Jewish prophet. What is the Jewish Holy Book? The Jewish Holy Book is known as the Tanakh or Hebrew Bible. The word Tanakh comes from the first letters of the three different parts of the book. Number 1, the Torah, T, which is the first five books of the Hebrew Bible. The Christian Bible also begins with these books in the part which Christians call the Old Testament. The Nevi'im, or the N, which are the books of the Jewish prophets such as Joshua and Isaiah. Number 3 is the Ketuvim, K, which is a collection other important writings. Torah. The Torah is the Jewish sacred text Tanakh or the Hebrew Bible. It includes the same books as the Old Testament and the Christian Bible, but they're placed in a slightly different order. The Torah, the first five books of the Tanakh or the Torah, outlines laws for Jews to follow. It's sometimes also referred to as the Pentateuch. The Torah has 613 commandments, which are called mitzvah. They are the rules that Jews try to follow. The most important ones are the Ten Commandments given to Moses. The Torah is so special that people are not allowed to touch it. It is kept in a safe place called an ark in the Jewish temple, and when people read from the Torah, they use a special pointer stick called a yad to follow the words. Where do Jews worship? Jews worship God in a synagogue. Jewish people attend services at the synagogue on Saturdays during Shabbat. Shabbat or the Sabbath is the most important time of the week for Jews. It begins on Friday evening and ends at sunset on Saturdays. During Shabbat, Jews remember that God created the world and on the seventh day he rested. Jews believe God's day of rest was a Saturday. The services in the synagogue are led by a religious leader called a rabbi, which means teacher in Hebrew. Explain three fundamental beliefs of Judaism that you agree. Number 1, God is the cause of existence. Existence of God in a religion or the proposition that there is a supreme supernatural or preternatural or a preternatural being that is creator or sustainer or ruler of the universe and all things in it, including human beings. In many religions, God is also conceived as perfect and unfathomable by humans as all-powerful and all-knowing, and as the source and ultimate ground of morality. I do believe that our existence have caused and impacted by the one and almighty. As the fundamental belief of Judaism, I agree with it that God is the cause of existence. Number two, God is one. The God of the God of monotheism is the one real God that is believed to exist, or in any case, that is acknowledged as such. God's essence and character are believed to be unique and fundamentally different from all other beings that can be considered more or less comparable. The order of the heavens and the earth is a sign of God's oneness. Quran 21:22. Thus, Muslims believe in one God, the God who created the universe and has power over everything within it. He is unique and exalted. He is above everything he creates, hence, he is the one and the only one deserving of any worship. Number three, God is omniscient. Omniscience means God is all knowing. This means God knows everything, including the past and future. There is nothing God is unaware of. Omnipresence means God is everywhere at the same time. God is distinct from the universe but inhabits the entirety of it. Omniscience is the property of having complete or maximal knowledge. Along with omnipotence and perfect goodness, it is usually taken to be one of the central divine attributes. One source of the attribution of omniscience to God derives from the numerous biblical passages that ascribe vast knowledge to him, and thus he is indeed. Explain three fundamental beliefs of Judaism that you do not agree. Number one, Moses was the ultimate prophet. Muslims often refer to Muhammad as Prophet Muhammad, or just the Prophet or the Messenger, and regard him as the greatest of all prophets. He is seen by the Muslim as a possessor of all virtues. Number two, the Torah is the divine origin. The term Torah is also used to designate the entire Hebrew Bible, since for some Jews the laws and customs passed down through oral traditions are part and parcel of God's revelation to Moses and contribute the oral Torah. Torah is also understood to include both the oral law and the written law. Number three, the Torah is immutable. The divine nature of the Torah renders it immutable and hence not subject to amendment or modification. Although the Torah itself is immutable, the sages of the Talmud teach that the interpretation of its laws and regulation is entirely within the province of human intellect. Thus, I beg to disagree.